This week in the Trump trials and beyond, perhaps the date of the classified documents case being until after the election, or is it the apocalypse, is the best place to start in summing up the last week in the cases of Donald James Trump. Although I am not going along with lamestream media saying that we are all doomed and should bow down to the almighty Trump, I am pessimistic that a trial will happen before the November election. What really bothers me is the possibility that Jack Smith will go along with lamestream media and its legal experts who don't believe this action is reviewable through a writ of mandamus. Perhaps this is because too many lawyers and legal scholars will get their feathers ruffled. Or is it because Judge Aileen Cannon is on the Federalist Society's banquet circuit? Or is it she has them book her vacations like Uncle Clarence and Scalito? See references provided if you are reading this. That would be Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. For what it is worth, I have little faith in what will happen and have planned my actions accordingly and not in coordination with the right-wing media and lamestream media's wishes for us to just go along and bow down to the Donald because he doesn't use a condom. Although it might also be applicable in the twin January 6th cases, I need to ask what would be appropriate if it became clear that there would be no trial before the election. Yes, I would rather prefer a trial through the I would rather prefer a trial than a trial through the media. But if that isn't the case, shouldn't we release all the pertinent information relevant to January 6th and Russian election interference? If the Supreme Court in the state of Georgia drag the court cases till November 6th or when hell freezes over, should we then be allowed to view the contents of the Mueller report and the January 6th report, as well as the identity of all 6 of the unindicted co-conspirators, according to Jack Smith? Don't we at least deserve to know it only truly unidentified the only truly unidentified co-conspirator is Jenny Thomas, the wife of Uncle Clarence? I need to state that I want a real trial, but if the courts don't want to comply, we are entitled to the information so we can make up our mind if it is fit to hold any elected office. For what it is worth, I would also enjoy watching Fox / right-wing media, the Banana Republican Party, and lamestream media try to explain their dysfunctionality in keeping these secrets. I would rather them rationally explain their position on abortion or even provide a viable alternative to Obamacare, but that is a lost cause. If we are going to talk about this week in the Trump trials, I have to go back to Stormy Daniels taking a stance. Perhaps I could lose my man card because of this, but I doubt it will matter in my intimate relations. But I am with most of the women of whom Stormy has struck a chord with. It seems the men want to talk about the relevance of the story in relation to the charges against Trump. But what are those documents covering up? The fact that Donald Trump is a manipulative and abusive pig? Perhaps there is relevance in a courtroom. I can respect that, and Judge Juan Merchan's handling of the case. I would even accept that if there was a real trial for the classified documents and January 6th, but I believe sheltering a jury, but I believe that sheltering a jury in a way that the court system does. Perhaps that is why I didn't become a lawyer. Maybe I should have applied to see what reason I would get for calling out Trump and his lawyers for their bullshit delays. And now to create a hung jury because Stormy said their client didn't use a condom. I do admire how the judge pointing out how the defense didn't do their job in injecting to the media to the question being asked, as well as a few other things. Perhaps it is good that I didn't become a lawyer. I never was good at holding my nose. Let's now look forward to the fireworks of the Michael Cohen testimony and possible Supreme Court decision on presidential immunity, which I have no idea how they will rule on that. I do predict that Trump's lawyers will attack Michael Cohen harder than they tried to destroy Stormy Daniels. I don't think they will be successful, but I don't look to Fox or right-wing media to report it that way if they somehow get out of their script that will direct them to some fear-mongering. This is all for this next week. Until then, I wish you a peaceful and well-balanced life.